So as we come back to our regular schedule, I want to pick up now with our Versus series. And I was going through the comments on my previous video, and what I had noticed is that a lot of you guys were asking the question, who would win in a battle between Worldbreaker Hulk and Doomsday? And so that's what we're going to talk about here. But first, the first thing I want to do anyway is run over what the powers of these guys are and what they're capable of. So in order to remove the Hulk from the Marvel landscape for the Civil War event, writer Greg Pak wrote a story called Planet Hulk, which saw the Illuminati launch Hulk into space because they felt he'd become too much of a threat to continue living on Earth. Now, their intention was to send the Hulk to a planet where he could live out his life in peace without hurting anyone. But his shuttle entered a wormhole and he unexpectedly ended up on the planet called Sakaar, which was led by an evil dictator known as the Red King. Now, eventually, the Hulk defeats the Red King, marries a woman named Kyra, and finds a life of happiness on Sakaar. However, everything turns sour when the shuttle which brought him back to Sakaar explodes, destroying the city and killing his wife and unborn child in the process. And so as a result, the Hulk eventually loses it, blames the Illuminati since they designed the shuttle, and returns to Earth to exact his revenge. Now, following these events, Greg Pak launched the next chapter of Hulk's story called World War Hulk, during which time we're introduced to the concept of the Worldbreaker Hulk, which shows us what happens when Hulk returns to Earth and declares war on his betrayers. Now, what we see here is that Hulk is at a level of power that's never been seen prior to this point. Like all incarnations of the Hulk, Worldbreaker Hulk has super strength, and his level of strength varies directly on his level of anger with no upper limit. This principle explains the immense level of strength of the Worldbreaker Hulk and what he exhibits, in that because he lives in constant anger due to the destruction of Sakaar and the end of his new life, the baseline strength in his Hulk form is already extremely high and increases even further as he engages in battle. And so during the Worldbreaker Hulk event and its tie-ins, we saw several feats of strength from the Hulk that give us an idea of just how strong he is in his Worldbreaker Hulk form. For instance, he was able to jump high enough to enter the Earth's orbit and far enough to travel across continents. Now, in addition to the limitless super strength and durability, as well as extremely efficient healing factors, Worldbreaker Hulk is able to emit gamma radiation from his body with devastating effects. For example, with merely one footstep, the Worldbreaker Hulk destroyed almost the entire eastern seaboard of the United States. We also saw a battle with the Red Hulk, where the Incredible Hulk performs a thunderclap that releases enough radiation to completely incapacitate the Red Hulk. And so basically, what we have in Worldbreaker Hulk is the strongest, most durable Hulk that we've ever seen, due to him being the angriest he's ever been, and added an ability to project extremely powerful blasts of gamma radiation. Now, all these powers combine to make Worldbreaker Hulk quite possibly the strongest earthbound and even universal entity in the history of Marvel Comics, save for those who can warp reality. And the reason we can say this is that we see him go up against and defeat several of the strongest heroes in the Marvel Universe, performing impressive feats of strength along the way. For example, we saw Hulk travel to the moon to confront Black Bolt and withstand the sonic blast generated by his voice before defeating him in battle and continuing on to Earth. When he arrives, Hulk travels to the Xavier School to confront another member of the Illuminati, Charles Xavier, and during a battle with the X-Men, Hulk's able to break Colossus's arms while he's in his organic steel form and is able to withstand an attack from the Juggernaut before eventually throwing him through a brick wall. Now, following this, the Hulk battles Doctor Strange, who's been possessed by a super powerful demon named Zom, and defeats him, a feat that should have been impossible since it took the combined strength of both Dormammu and the cosmic entity Eternity to imprison Zom. The most impressive feat that we saw achieved by World War Hulk, however, comes during his battle with the Sentry, who is believed to be one of, if not the strongest hero in the Marvel Universe. While Hulk and Sentry initially battle to a standstill, the Sentry finally expends all his energy in an attempt to defeat the Hulk, but the Hulk withstands this attack, and the Sentry and Hulk both turn back into their human forms. Now, in 2011, 4 years after the World War Hulk event, we saw the Worldbreaker form of Hulk emerge again in an event called Heart of the Monster. In the story, the Hulk once again became angry enough to enter his Worldbreaker form after the villain Armageddon poisoned Jen Walters and Rick Jones. This time, as Worldbreaker Hulk, he's able to defeat powered-up versions of Fin Fang Foom, Bi-Beast, Wendigo, Red She-Hulk, an army of mindless ones, and Armageddon himself, as well as destroy an entire planet within the Dark Dimension. And so, having said that, what I want to do here is I want to transition to Doomsday because he is not a pushover. Doomsday's power set is extremely similar to the Hulk's. For example, like the Hulk, Doomsday possesses super strength. Doomsday's strength level has varied throughout history, but he has effectively battled and defeated both Superman and Darkseid, even killing Superman on one occasion in the now famous Death of Superman story arc and breaking his arm in another. So we can assume that his strength level is among the upper echelon of characters in the DC universe, and he's also been known to leap miles at a time, again, much like the Hulk. But in addition to strength, Doomsday possesses superhuman stamina, as he was able to battle Superman for an entire day. But he also has an armored hide and almost instantaneous healing that makes him extremely resistant to physical damage. However, what really sets Doomsday apart is his ability to involuntarily return from the dead any time that he's killed. Furthermore, each time he dies, Doomsday comes back immune to whatever it was that killed him the previous time. And so because of this, he's also shown the ability to quickly evolve his DNA to exploit his opponent's weaknesses, including one instance when he breathed fire while he was fighting Martian Manhunter. And so the question becomes this: between these two characters and with their feats and powers outlined, who wins? Well, the reason this is such an interesting battle to so many people is that it pits two characters with very similar powers and immense strength against one another. That being said, I think that at first, this battle will be a virtual stalemate as each combatant trades blows in an outright brawl. I don't really see any real weaknesses that either one could exploit in order to gain any sort of advantage on the other, as each character is basically built to be an impenetrable tank that absorbs damage and keeps fighting through it. On the other hand, the respective strength, durability, and healing factors of each of these characters would also ensure that the battle they have would go on for an extended period of time, which I think favors the Hulk, as he'll continue to grow angrier the longer he battles on, with his strength continuing to increase. This also presents an interesting contrast with the battle Doomsday had with Superman, which I know will be a sticking point for many when gauging Doomsday's abilities, since Superman does suffer fatigue during the prolonged battle, causing him to weaken. However, this will not be a problem for the Hulk, as he'll simply become more powerful the longer the fight goes on. The issue with this, however, is that we're not really giving an answer, which is essentially the point of these videos. So we'll put that entire concept aside, and we'll basically just pick a winner here. With that said, I think that if these two are simply battling to the death, Worldbreaker Hulk will probably win. I say that because from everything that we've seen, the Hulk is just as powerful, resilient, and durable as Doomsday, being as there's no upper limit to his strength. We have, however, seen Doomsday defeated in DC Comics on more than one occasion, while we've never seen the Hulk defeated while in his Worldbreaker form. Things change significantly though if Doomsday once again engages the Hulk after he returns to life. Since he will be immune to what caused his death, it will become harder, if not impossible, for the Hulk to actually kill him. But I'm not sure that Doomsday would ever actually reach a level sufficient enough to kill Worldbreaker Hulk, since again, Hulk continues to get stronger the angrier he gets, and so what this does is effectively just put us back to a stalemate scenario. So again, this is really just kind of a hard situation to figure out here, because we've got a guy whose anger could stretch on forever, but we've also got a guy who can keep coming back from the dead. So I don't know, I'm curious. Like, in my opinion, I think Worldbreaker Hulk would probably win. The issue with this is that it takes time for Hulk to get up to that form. So post a comment down below. I'm kind of curious. Who do you guys think would win in a battle between Worldbreaker Hulk and Doomsday? I know this is probably going to create a lot of argument. It's going to create a lot of debate. I know like the hardcore DC fans and the hardcore Marvel fans are going to take their sides and they're going to refuse to give ground. So be as civil as you can in the comment section, but I'm really curious to read the answers that you guys are going to give. And yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys want to see more like it, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the sub button to become part of the Rob Corps, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.